All right, guys. Welcome back. Well, it's one of the round one games of GPC. I mean, I already played my game, so it's not the first game, but yeah. So, who are our contestants this time?
So we have Neon Blue up against Acolyte here. So as for decks, Neon Blue is Flash Maxing and Mabel Pilled. That's the
Oh,
name of the deck.
interesting
It
name.
is, yeah, it is it's a Azorius Mabel list, splashing some red for Commanding Princess. And Requiem is on what looks like a mono red prowessy deck.
It's land destruction. Look at Stolen Cash, and then look at Crystal Conjuration.
Okay,
Oh, yeah. So for people at home, can you tell them what Stolen Cash does?
So Stolen Cash, you know how to summon up cards in Cockatrice.
Yeah, but
so
we don't want to do it because it might might count as outside information.
True, yeah. So Stolen Cash is a sorcery. It's a run to wet. It's 1 in a red. Until end of turn, gain control target artifact or land, and it gains haste. You untap it, and you also create a gold token. And this deck also runs a couple cards that allows it to sacrifice lands. So in hand was Trailblazer, they mulliganed. But in hand now is Crystal Conjuration.
And looks like they just used it because they're using it to sacrifice Chrismet Vault.
That's also good, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, actually, yeah. Prismite Vault, another synergy with those sacrifice pieces. This 2 in the deck, a Trailblazer is a 2-mana 1 with haste. You sack a land, explores. You can put a basic land card from your hand on the battlefield tapped. So the idea of the deck is steal stuff with Stolen Cash and use Crystal Conjuration or that card in order to sacrifice it. And then the other cards are classic kind of prowessy cards. At least the instant sorceries, you have like Find Greater Purpose, Scorch, Storm Surge. For the creatures, it runs some new cards from Act. Yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
the deck also runs some new cards from Act that care about things being sacrificed or leaving the battlefield.
You know what this deck reminds me of? It reminds me of Sly. You know, the original aggro deck? Because that deck ran land destruction.
I've heard of Sly. I don't know enough about it to fully get it.
Me neither, but from what I read on the MTG wiki, apparently that deck played Strip Mines, and Strip Mines was an important part of the deck.
I mean, Strip Mine is good. It's a good card, actually.
Yeah, so, and this deck continues its legacy by being an aggro deck that has really cheap land destruction. Unfortunately, we're not going to see the land destruction come out because... Wait, do they only have Stolen Cash to steal lands? Do they have any other ways to do the land stealing thing?
Unless I'm missing something, I don't think there's anything else in this deck that is land stealing.
Okay, yeah, so I guess it's more of an aggro deck that sacrifices land and sometimes gets the pawns of the opponent.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of these. I think it's a general, just kind of good synergy of like animating lands and stuff. And having stuff like Prismite Vault and Promethean Grotto that you're fine with sacrificing.
Slasher Simp has a 3/3 on turn 2, I guess. So
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And you
plus office plus with a Scorch.
What happened to the other land this turn?
What do you mean?
Oh, right. They had to animate the mountain. So they're actually down 2 lands currently. Oh, yeah. I don't think Crystal Conjuration is a good card because you had to go down 2 lands to do this.
That is true. That is very true.
But I mean, what do I know about the deck? Maybe it's built in a way that's supposed to account for that.
Yeah, maybe it's like better than it looks. I don't know.
Neon says hello, Slicer Simp. Are you AFK right now?
Oh dear.
Probably. I mean, either they're AFK or they tap out. Okay, they apologize.
Probably just getting a burger.
Small internet issue. All right, I understand.
Yeah, this is one of those new cards from Act. Lantern Bearer Bell gets plus 2% as flying if you sacrifice a permanent this turn.
It's a 1-mana 3/1, as long as you meet its condition.
Yeah.
Wait, Neon's down to 9 already? Where did the life go?
Scorch, 2 Crystal Conjuration attacks, and...
That's it?
I don't know what else. Because that doesn't account for all of it, but I don't know where the rest of it came from. Let me see here.
Maybe they got 3 Crystal Conjuration attacks in?
Oh, it was fetch land untapped. Was the other 2 life.
Oh yeah, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, fetch land untap for 2 life, 2 Crystal Conjuration attacks, and a scorch adds up to 11.
Event Horizon, funnily enough, doesn't kill the mountains.
No, non-land permanent. Unfortunate.
So somehow this actually becomes an advantage that your creatures are also lands.
Neon doesn't really have a way to deal with that land right now.
You block it. Like, you just block it with 2 guys.
You can just block it with Justice, like Justice our Overseer.
Oh yeah, that's a huge blowout if that happens. But Neon is stuck on lands, so yeah, that's unfortunate for them.
Not positive there.
Agent Deception does get to counter something.
Yeah, I guess.
Neon's forced to pass again. Slicer draws a mount. I guess that's getting sacked.
Yeah, I guess you just find greater purpose with that, really.
Does Neon try to chump right now? I think they'd rather hold up counter spells.
Mm-hmm. You have life gain in hand.
Purpose, and that's enough mana to not get countered. Oh wait, never mind. Agent Deception.
Gotta find greater purpose, sacrifice the land to it.
No, they can't. Yeah, they have to let it resolve, and they.
So find greater purpose in Crystal Conjuration.
Oh, you can't orchestrate from exile.
Not the hugest hits there.
You're also running out of lands, like in general. Like, you don't have lands to do anything.
Definitely magic cards.
Do you find greater purpose again? That feels iffy. Alternatively, you can Crystal Conjuration your mountain, and I mean, you're banking your opponent not having a way to kill lands easily. Well, look at Neon's deck. Do they have any ways to kill lands easily? They don't, right? Yeah, they don't. So I mean, I feel like it's pretty safe to just Crystal Conjuration your remaining mountain. But Slicer Simp is just going to pass. They're not even going to play out Trailblazer. Wait, they're just going to leave mana untapped. But why? I mean, there's no reason to waste mana here, right? There's no instant speed thing that they can do.
Neon Blue gets that necessary next land here. It's to set at Tundra.
Are they trying to play
mana there? Good enough for Justiciar Overseer, which is going to be, I think, an important card if they want to start coming back into this game. Acolyte hits another Find Greater Purpose here.
They sacrifice.
And
wait, is that legal? Oh god. Do we need to do the judge call for them?
So I think, yeah. Okay. Luckily, Neon caught it.
Ew.
But I assume it still goes to a judge call. Acolyte tried to orchestrate Crystal Conjuration from hand, or not from hand, from exile. You can't do. Orchestrate only occurs from hand.
Luckily, it's a pretty easy rewind.
Cannot be orchestrated from there.
Yeah.
No judge call though. Looks like just gonna rewind it here.
They're going to Crystal Conjuration.
Going to Crystal Conjuration, the same land here, which does make things very difficult for Neon. I do think they
have to counter it.
I think you might just either Cosmic Sync. Okay, gonna okay it.
They're just planning on chumping it forever.
I don't know how the math works out on it, but
I mean that's fine. It's not like Slicer Sim's going to get any other creatures anytime soon.
I don't know. I think the math. Okay, gonna Mabel there.
Yeah, you just keep chumping,
which makes sense. Gain the life, you block the creature, and you get more cards in hand. Also, gains you life. So
Neon wins if the game goes long, anyways. So
only gets haste, no other keywords. So
yeah,
definitely able to get chump blocked. Only thing is, Neon opting not to counter it is gonna have a much harder time actually dealing with it. Now, it's a 6/6 that doesn't die to Event Horizon. I don't know what else they have in the deck.
They just infinitely trump
actually
it.
Does enough to take care of it.
It's like they don't need to deal with it. They can just infinitely chump it.
I have to take a look here. I don't think there's very much. They're not main deck. There's more creature removal stuff. Like, I mean, I'm sure out of body experience comes in here, but for now, it's Ocean Monastery. Not great. It is basically a tap land here. I don't know if you're really able. I mean, I guess you are fine doing Ocean Monastery, even having on tap, but
yeah,
that does get you across that 4 mana point, which a lot of flash decks quite like, because you have a bunch of 2-drops in hand. You have Lost in Dreams.
Speed the Event Horizon. Oh, they killed Mox Chrismite.
Event Horizon.
Yeah, that works.
The Mox Chrismite main.
Do you want to blow up?
Interesting choice. I guess it makes sense. It is mana.
I mean, there's nothing else they're using Event Horizon
Mox
on.
Chrismite blown up there. Next, knocks Acolyte down to basically 1 usable mana here.
Yeah.
And in hand, it doesn't look great for the future in that regard. Dramatic Understudy coming down here. Prowess. Being a common, your turn, creature controlled left the battlefield this turn. Target creature can block. Basically useless against a Neon Blues deck due to the nature of how it works.
Mm.
You're going to play Agent of Deception. Keep trying to hold on here. You have the Aether Mantis Familiar one more time here. I think if you draw a land here, you can Overseer and Familiar to get over that hump. Doesn't have it though, but does get a Panya, which I do think you want here.
Yeah, you get to take a Panya.
You're pretty happy with that. You get an extra turn. You get the chance to get the mana to do that. Gonna pass for now. Gonna hold up Familiar probably for the card. Storm Surge here is a big boost. That gets Acolyte closer to getting over this hump here of damage. Gonna Panya in response.
Wait, Neon's using Panya to
like I said, just needs to get to a 5th land here. Then you have a Familiar and Overseer combo, which can block that mountain
Neon's
for 4.
with Panya.
Overseer redirects 2 damage back to the mountain, which I think is enough. Or
oh yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, Panya. I missed that. But yeah, Panya does the same thing here.
So
except
block
costs 1 less.
All right.
So
yeah, so
that is enough to blow up that mountain, and that's gonna put Acolyte in a difficult position here. Not too bad still. Only 1 mana is very difficult. Your only card draw requires you to sacrifice a permanent. Like I said, Dramatic Understudy, pretty bad in this.
Actually, why are they playing a draft common in their constructed deck?
Huh. Acolyte redirects the damage to face instead. I'm not sure about that, honestly. And there's the Storm Surge orchestrated. I guess I'm not sure what that's about.
It gives a target for commanding.
Don't have a way to blow it up. Commanding Princess is. I mean, Commanding Princess is a way. It comes down. It does 2 to the mountain. You make the Justiciar get first strike, and that's actually a blowout for you because you get to keep your Overseer.
Wait, did Neon Scry earlier?
So that's a good situation to be in. And even then, you also have bringing back Agent of Deception at instant speed. Commanding Princess is very good for you here.
But did Neon Scry earlier? Because like blocking with Panya there made no, or like jumping with Panya there made no sense.
Card right now.
Otherwise,
I don't know where Ricky's gone. I don't know where Ricky's gone.
What the
So we're out here now. Rousing Rebel for Acolyte here, and that is pretty tough to beat. It's another land. One of those tough things. Event Horizon main
Mountain
does
Swing
nothing against lands. Slicer Simp here for Acolyte on them.
All right. Did my audio cut off? Well, the good news is at least I was recording. Like at least OBS recorded all that, so it just sounded like we were talking past each other.
Oh, so damn! I honestly thought you had just like left. I was like, well, I guess I'm commentating this entirely by myself.
What? No, if I left, then like we'll be recording.
For that entire time, you thought I was just being the worst co-commentator.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that happened. That's horrifying.
Okay.
That is very funny though. That entire time you're just thinking like, gosh, Asti is talking over me constantly. What's up with this?
Yeah.
I just think you're gone.
If I was gone, then who would be recording?
I assume you'd like left your computer is what I meant. I assume you'd like left it recording and you went up and got some like tea or something.
Sure.
So I don't know. Well.
Anyways, yes. So, did Neon know about the Command Princess on top? Because blocking with Pioneer made no sense otherwise.
That's the thing. I noticed that. It is a very... I don't know what the idea there was. I don't know what the plan was.
Find greater purpose. Sacking the mountain, I'm assuming. Yep.
Yeah.
They can't afford to point at face. By the way, just... did they flip a Storm Surge off to find greater purpose? No, that was Storm Surge already on the stack. I'm just noticing like how many bad cards or how many anti-synergies there are with find greater purpose because Storm Surge can't be orchestrated from exile either.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, you don't get Orchestrate. I mean, I guess you might not have anything better in red. I don't know. I don't play red.
So Trailblazer, well, they have 2 mana at least. They're not mana screwed. And they're going to play Trailblazer. They're just going to let Lantern Bearer Bell go away.
Mm-hmm. It's not really the most useful card here, I suppose.
It's getting countered, I guess. Yeah, Neon's countering it.
Yeah, that makes sense here.
So they have a lot of choices of counter spells, because they can also Aether Master's Familiar in order to get a counter spell out of their graveyard, right?
Yeah. Aether Master's Familiar, Commanding Princess, Returning, Agent of Deception.
Yeah, that's really juicy.
Yeah, Aether Master's Familiar, good card. It lets you Aetherize a non-cat creature you control.
Yeah. Also, I see Neon's using the good art for the card. And they're going to end step the Aether Master's Familiar. They're not going to wait for it.
I guess you still have a Cosmic Sinkhole in hand.
Yeah, okay, so they're getting back Panya, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that would make sense here.
Is that lethal? So that's 5 and then 8 damage. That's 1 away from lethal, I think, right? Yeah. And they're going to Panya Tail, and that's expected. They just need to find 1 damage from somewhere, and then they have the game. And Slicer's not even going to wait for it.
Nah. Come to the boards here.
Oh, let me just pull up the boards. Where's the boards? Yep.
I can tell you Neon's probably siding out those Event Horizons for out-of-body experience in this case.
Yeah, certainly.
Just a feeling. Not really too many non-creature threats in that deck. Event Horizon was good for blowing up the Mox Prismite, I suppose, but you really want to out-body here to deal with those land.
I mean, you do want the counter spells because your opponent has a lot of things that sacrifice as a cost, so you can really blow out people with counter
you can
spells.
really blow people out. Don't really need Chandrion's Command.
Let's look at the other player. Requiem, I don't see how they're getting out of this. I think they just have to, like... Actually, do they bring in Cinehoof Minotaur? I don't... Maybe actually, I think Bright Flame Mix might be good just because it's a slow... No, it's not good because your opponent has exile removal.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the cards are good. Maybe Cinehoof Minotaur is decent. I mean, it does put up the clock, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. This is going to be a tough matchup. A tough game, too, for Acolyte. I can say that.
Yeah, certainly. Well, actually, no. The reason Acolyte didn't win game 1 was because they didn't get Stolen Cash in hand. Like, if they managed to get the Land Thief off on turn 1, turn 2, then they have a much greater chance to win. Like, the entire deck basically lives and dies on whether you can essentially stone your opponent on turn 2.
I hate to say it, but that's not really when you only have a 4 of a card like that, it's not really a great way to make your dreams come true.
Yeah, but I mean, do you have any better options? Is there like another 4 copies of Stolen Cash somewhere in the format?
There's plenty of other decks available to the players.
Yeah,
and not to throw out the deck idea completely, but
does any other deck wreck ramp decks with Primary Resurgence as hard as Stolen Cash on their Primary Resurgence land?
True and factual.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1 because you blow up their land and you blow up their land aura.
Yeah, I don't think I did like a cursory glance of a gain control of land on Instigator and it didn't find me anything.
Well, you had to look for permanence because I don't think there's any cards that really specifically gain control of lands, but there is probably some now.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Slasher Sim does have Stolen Cash in opening hand, but they don't have a red source. So they think they have to log in this.
There is Men in Reclamation.
That requires going into green.
Well,
since it's not in either player's decks, we can have to put it in chat.
Yeah, Men in Reclamation.
How do you spell it? Asti, you spell it.
It's MENN.
Put it in chat.
I don't know. It's 2 N's.
Okay.
MENN. Meme in Reclamation.
Come on, try harder.
So yeah, Men in Reclamation. It's a sorcery from Love You Awaken. You create X 1/1 black goblin creature tokens. You gain control of a permanent with mana value X or less until end of turn. Untap against haste until end of turn for X red green.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
So
look at the hands here. Acolyte still doesn't have that their Stolen Cash.
Well, they're keeping a hand that has cards, I guess, but no combos.
This is a hand with cards in it. Yeah. You don't really have combos like in here really, because you get like a Lantern Bearer Bell, but you can't like get synergy off of your Shardstone Rift when sacking that.
There is a combo here. You sack your Promethean Grotto and then you play it from your graveyard, and that gets you infinite land sacks.
That is, well, you need it in an infinite way to sack it, don't you?
Well, I mean, you have a pretty good early curve. You Lantern Bell, and then next turn you play Grotto and Crystal Conjuration sack it.
Mm-hmm. You're not doing bad for yourself. You're really not. So I did find Reigns of Influence too, which does require you to go into blue.
Reigns of Influence? Reigns of Influence.
Yeah, it is. This is not a card I've seen before.
Gain control of target non-creature from end to end of turn. Untap it. A prophecy.
It is an instant. And it is a prophecy, I guess. I don't think that does anything. I mean,
it does nothing on its own.
Like, does Find Greater Purpose reveal?
No, it exiles.
Oh, it's synergy with Trailblazer. That card explores, which does reveal.
Oh yeah, so you can.
They reveal the top card of your library.
Yeah, and you get to counter, and you get to exile it.
Gameplay.
Can this deck support 2 colors with this mana?
That's a good question. Next question.
By the way, I think SlicerSim just missed out on some really nice plays, because they could have tap Promethean Grotto, like tap Mountain Grotto for Sculpted Ruby Sand, and then, or I mean, orchestrate Crystal Conjuration first, and then play Sculpted Ruby Sand, and then trigger it in the same turn.
Yeah, well, it happens sometimes. Gonna Prodigious Pawn you here.
Okay, yeah, that trades off.
Yeah, I mean, not bad. Neon's got ways to get it back. I don't think SlicerSim does, so pretty reasonable.
I'm just saying that SlicerSim missed out on some nut draw potential. Well, no, I guess they're playing around Cosmic Sinkhole, because if they went all in on Sculptor, then they get blown up by Cosmic Sinkhole.
True.
Ooh, Mountain. No, I don't think you play a Mountain here. You're supposed to play a Promethean Grotto. Like, you want to take advantage of your land that you get for free every time you sack it.
Yeah, you might as well keep the cards in hand. So Sculptor, Conjuration, big turn here.
Yep,
big gameplay.
To untap the land with Sculptor. I mean, so they get to swing for 6 damage this turn. That is a decent chunk of damage.
That is a good chunk of damage.
Yeah.
And Neon not really in a great position to do much about it.
They can flash in a cat, and then that chumps.
Yep.
I think it's worth chumping, because that's like 2 mana to gain 6 life.
Plus you have like another familiar, so it's not like you're really worried about it. So yeah, definitely you throw out the chump here.
Just throw the cat under the bus.
Throw the cat under the bus, absolutely.
Or under the mountain in this case.
Yeah.
Like there's an entire mountain coming towards you, and then you just throw a cat at it, and the mountain stops.
Woe be upon ye.
And it dies so hard that it gets exiled? Okay, yeah, I'm putting the correct pile.
It dies so hard it can't come back.
So Mabel chumps next turn, and then turn afterwards, Command Princess comes down and gets some extra chumps with some first strike, and probably blows out SlicerSim. So I think the game is probably Neon probably already wins the game if SlicerSim doesn't draw anything super great.
Yeah, because once you get, what is it, Commanding Princess, Commanding Princess just blows up the mountain.
Yeah, Princess blowing up a mountain.
Yes.
As revenge for the cat. No, even brings back the cat, which immediately reactivates its ETB. Oh, wait.
Exactly, yeah.
It can just straight kill the mountain by itself with enough cat flickers.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because you're going to throw another cat in front of the mountain here. You simply got to... SlicerSim did side in Metal Munch? I'm not...
It blows up Panya, it blows up Cat, it blows up Princess. I mean, it blows up a lot of their cards, but...
It's sorcery, though.
Yeah, it's not a
great sorcery.
I guess it can clear the way for an attack.
Yeah, realistically, in this kind of situation, that's common where that just doesn't happen at all. Like, there's no clearing way for an attack because Neon just plays on your turn, and then their stuff dies, and they have the resources on their turn to just blow your stuff up.
And Sculptor the Ruby Sands dies.
Yeah.
Slicer is also of resources because they need a sack outlet for Lantern Bear Bell. Not that it would matter anyways, because Command Princess is just going to be such a huge blowout that I don't think Slicer's can recover. I mean, it's good that Neon's knocking out these players early in the GP because I do not want to face this deck. I don't want to get my Primary Surgeon's land blown up and stolen. Or, I mean, stolen and then blown up. And they even get 1 extra mana out of the deal because Primary Surgeons will activate for them when they steal it. Or when they tap the land, because Primary Surgeons doesn't care, will give the controller of the land the mana, not the owner of the enchantment. But yeah.
So.
Alright, let's see the Princess do its work.
Princess time. Yep.
Command Princess comes down, gets back a cat. The cat flickers. The cat aetherizes the princess. They get another round of princess triggers. I guess the princess brings back Panya this time, or I guess they can first strike and then. Well, yeah, sure. I guess that works too.
Yeah. So
that wipes Slicer Simp's entire board.
Pretty good.
I mean, look, if Slicer didn't tap out of red, at least they have Metal Munch left over to clean up the remaining creatures.
True. Metal Munch. At that point, though, it's just playing card-wise. You're down heavily if you're Slicer.
You're dead.
You're down so many cards. Your card draw costs you. And, like, if you get countered on a card, like, if you get countered playing... I can't think of the name. If the 1 red sacrifice a permanent.
Yeah.
Find greater purpose. That costs you. And if that gets countered, then you got 2 for 1.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that is scary with this deck especially, is how much stuff costs you to cast. Like if you orchestrate Crystal Conjuration, it gets countered, that's a 2 for 1. You find greater purpose, that gets countered, that's a 2 for 1.
Yeah,
and those are 4-ofs in the deck.
I mean, you're mostly just hoping that the things you sack are the things that you want to sack, and then they become like less painful because at least you're getting the sack benefit of it. I think it's just mostly that the cards didn't line up those games for Slicer Simp.
No, yeah, not getting any stolen cash does hurt.
They didn't get their sack outlets with their sack, the things that want to get sacked. Yeah. But anyways, so that was the round 1 game. So yeah, I guess we'll see you next time.